Hello, welcome. I've popped down to the motorhome to come pick it up. We're off for the Easter bank holiday weekend. But I was going to do this as an intro to a video where we went on holiday for a week at the beginning of March. Already starting off well. Forgot to put an SD card in the actual camera, so currently using my phone. So we already planned a weekend away down at Ferry Meadows. But then my wife got an opportunity to have a week off following that weekend, so we decided to do that. And the only places of any interest we could find was in Wales, so we went for a weekend at Ferry Meadows and then drove over to Wales for the rest of the week. We in total went on 3 campsites. I'm going to insert some footage of all the campsites, but it didn't start off very well. We started off at a caravan and motorhome club site down at Ferry Meadows, which you would think would be really good with being a club site, and that was about £40 a night, which was probably the most expensive site we stayed on. Like I say, going to insert some video of the site itself. The showers, the old facilities was terrible, dangerous. You know, there was broken tiles, or the drainage guttering was all missing. So with it having the fixed shower heads just above you, you have to stand quite close to the wall. And in this instance, you know, you had about 6 inches from the wall, then a big drainage gap, and then the rest of it was the tile floor, but with broken tiles at the edges. So fully conceivable that somebody could actually A, slip, cut the foot open, or even B, you know, slip, put the foot in the gully and break an ankle. So was not impressed with that site at all. Hello and welcome. This weekend we've come to Ferry Meadows down at Peterborough. It's a caravan and motorhome club site, just in the information room. It is a really nice location of site. So you've got Ferry Meadows Park with all the boating lakes, but the site has been surprisingly really run down. I mean, just take the information office. Clearly been lots of leaks all around the ceilings. The toilet facilities are some of the worst we've seen, if we're honest. But we've not let that put us off. But yes, we're only here for the weekend, and then we're, for some reason, going all the way over to Wales for a week. So hopefully we'll pick up the camera then. Well, it has a dog stick library. We've just thrown him a stick. Bruno, are you going to get your stick? I think many sticks have been thrown. This is Bruno's, still there. Too busy with all the smells. Bruno, get the stick. Yep. Moving on from there, we headed over to a lovely site in Wales. This was Mid Wales. I'm going to try and put all the names up on the screens because pronouncing them in my memory, forget it. We had a few nights there. That was lovely. I think it was 3 nights there. The site itself was nice. There was a lovely bar on site, but it was out of season. Wasn't particularly busy, but would definitely recommend, you know, going there. The pitches was huge. Some of the biggest pitches in this country we've ever stayed on. Apart from that, because it was out of season, as I'm going to explain in the videos, you know, the poo bins was overflowing, the cleaning wasn't up to a standard. We've drove 15 minutes from the campsite to a disused mine in the middle of Wales. I'm not going to pronounce any names because forget it, but I'll show you the board. Yeah, this is, like I say, 15-minute drive away from the campsite. It's free to park at. Nothing here other than the sort of history about it, no calf, but really nice for a walk. Bruno's enjoyed it. We've been up through the woods. We was going to try and get to the top of the dam, but it looks like you got to go through a farmer's field, and it's all gated off with sheep at the moment with lambing season, so with the dogs probably not the best idea. But that's the dam just behind me, and there's more information regarding where we are. But yeah, it's all still not intact, but still standing. But it's built well, built to last, unlike a lot of modern properties these days. Right, we are at a place called Meadow Springs Country Leisure Park. This is what we got on arrival, which we've never had before at any of the campsites in the past at least 18 years. We get the map of the park, various information of what's around, opening times for the bars, lunch menus. It is really well thought out. And yeah, very impressed with that. It's like I say, this park's sort of mid Wales, so not too far from Snowdonia, not too far from Aberystwyth. We drove there the other day. It takes about 1 hour to get there from where we are now. Unfortunately, whilst we was on the beach with the dog, we got hit by a rogue wave. That was just as we got there, so we got drenched, but what can you do other than laugh it off? Yeah, lovely site, this one. Just like I say, I think because it's out of season, they're not focusing too much on the cleanliness. As I've already videoed about the showers and the dog poo bins that are still full, but like I say, it's one we will come back to again. Now we're just getting packed up, ready for the off. We're going up on the coast, slightly further north. Go there for 3 more nights and see what we think to that one. Right, I'm going to get the little Fiat all connected up in a minute. I've got the A-frame ready. But yeah, this is the side. There's, excuse the wind, there's plenty of permanent sort of seasonal pitches. But the actual pitches here, the one we're on, definitely is humongous. It's massive. And that's our pitch. Right, let's wrap up. Get the electric disconnected. At some point we're going to have to sort the back of that out. This is not the point. Right, electric disconnected, ramps off. Right, that's it. Car's all hooked up. We're ready to get going to the next site. Just doing the services. What is quite unique a doggy shower. Right, let's get off to the next one. From there we moved to our final site in Wales, which was just up on the west coast, northwest coast of Wales, just near the Snowdonia National Park. That was surprisingly a really nice site. Super clean, really nice beach there. However, we did get there just as a storm was coming in and the weather turned quite gnarly. There was a pub, hotel, restaurant, whatever you want to call it, that was just opposite the campsite entrance as you walk up the road, which we thought we'd give a try because it won the 4 in a Bed award. But again, we turned up, the kitchen was only open for I think between 6 and half 7. We got there at maybe 6:45 and they was already shutting the kitchen down, so we actually never got to eat there. We just had a drink, wasn't overly impressed. Not in a rush to go back to that particular bar. There was a castle nearby up on a hill with like a little town. There was lots of shops, but however, you know, most of that wasn't dog friendly. The one thing we can take from Wales, and correct me if I'm wrong, but most places we went in Wales was not dog friendly. We couldn't take Bruno into a lot of the places, so we just didn't go in. It's, you know, the turning business away. Right, we've just got to our next site, which is Meadow, however you want to say it. Probably doesn't sound like that, but yeah, nice pitch, not quite as big as the last one. And we've got a doggy. What does doggy want? You ready? Oh, slobbery ball. He's a smart puppy. There he goes. Oh, unfortunately money can buy that. Right, we're going to go and explore. Alright, we've just got to the campsite and just having a look at the toilets. I've got to say, we are very impressed with how clean they are, how big they are. Plenty of showers. Unfortunately, it is push button again. But in all, certainly one of the better facilities I've been to, certainly compared to the Caravan and Motorhome Club one. That's a lovely little touch for washing babies. I don't think I've ever seen that at a campsite before. And again, with the pull-out shower attachment, hair dryers, plenty of showers, plenty of toilets, and a couple of disabled toilets as well. It goes all the way around like a big U shape. I presume they can shut half of this off while they're cleaning one half. So far, so good, very impressed. So we're going to have a wander around. I know the beach is only a few minutes walk down the track from here, and we'll see what we can find. So brave. Somebody's happy. Right, I hope you've enjoyed this very short video. Sorry it's been chopped up and edited, but we did feel that we was when we set off, when we first got to that campsite, and then with you know, the second campsite not being quite what we expected, the cleanliness wise. It was almost like there's a TV program, or used to be, Hotel Inspectors. We felt like the campsite inspectors, but it got better. Anyway, thanks for watching.